Okay, what's up, everybody? Here we have the Denon DJ Prime Go. Now, you guys already know my thoughts on this thing, but very recently, Denon has dropped a new version, which I'm about to update, and this thing is monstrous. So we're gonna download it, cover the features, and see how awesome this thing is to this great equipment that they've got. Let's go.
I've always wanted to be a DJ.
Okay, so here we are. This is the previous version, 1.6 is this one. And as you can see, this is like, I wanted to show what it looked like beforehand, which a lot of you are already familiar with. You know, the menu, you have to slide down here to do the split queue, quantize, all of that. And then hold down this to be able to see the menu, to go through the different things and scrolling. Now, I will say that this is one thing that I wasn't really a huge fan of, having to scroll, and like there was so many, you know, options all over the place, right? Like if I wanted to set things up quick or whatever it was, or share this device with other DJs, it was a process. But I'm not trying to knock it. That's just like, you know, with this new Monsters update, we're going to get a look into that. But I know that they changed the way the layout is. And another thing that was kind of frustrated is you had, you know, kind of crates, which was really weird. Like you have your crates and then you have your playlists. That was very confusing to me. You know what I mean? Like it just give me one option. Like, let me put my tracks into one thing that I need. And then that way I can kind of play and go through it and see what I need to do. So this is pretty much it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the update here, show you guys how to make it happen in case you're not sure. I mean, there's been several updates since having this thing for the past year, but I'm actually very excited for 2.0. So let's see, what we'll do is we'll go to menu, press and hold this. We'll go to utility and then scroll down to the bottom, update available. And we're gonna hit update. I am connected to Wi-Fi. That's the important thing that you need in order to make this happen. Okay, and now it's telling me that I need to plug in a power cord. So hang tight. Okay, so here we go. Now, I will say this. I know much better than to try to update with having power connected, because we all know our devices usually require that. So it is going to go through its process right now. I will keep the camera on, keep it running, but what I want to talk about before we get into seeing it is a few things that I was reading about that they've updated. So one of the main really awesome things is the engine lighting by SoundSwitch. With the built-in lighting, you know, Engine OS devices can automatically sync music with DMX and Philips Hue lights and all types of cool stuff, so that way you can have those effects at your gigs. And I think that's pretty dope to have that. Like the connectivity, you know, I will say that like Denon is truly stepping up their game when it comes to really furthering like the future of DJing and making sure that they're not just taking products that like they have and then re-releasing things. Like they're taking the products that they've got and making it better with the software updates and upgrades, and really trying to capitalize on, you know, stepping up and taking over the market. I mean, we all know Pioneer DJ has definitely, you know, held the reins as being like, you know, it's weird saying it, but the industry standard for, you know, clubs and DJs, all that. But now you got Denon coming in with big things like this. And I really, you know, it's funny, like side story here, I was thinking about updating to the, was it the XDJ-XZ by Pioneer for the big standalone unit. However, like with this new update that came out, I'm really considering getting the Denon DJ Prime 4. So we'll see how that goes. So let me hit the power button here, see what's going on. See, it says 1.6.2. Going to hit update. We will do the web. And here we go. And throughout this process, here it is continuing to update, and we will see what happens here. I'm definitely excited to get hands in on this software. Okay, so this is important. What this says here is that your engine library needs to be updated. If you have a large library or slow hard drive, this will take some time. In that case, we recommend ejecting and using Engine DJ for this update. What I'm going to do, I'm going to update it onto my system, on the computer system, and I will do that, and we'll get back into this thing here in a moment. Okay, well, you know what? Since we're here, I will show some of the release settings. So you guys saw in the beginning of this video how things used to look. Now, what I think is really cool is that you have this history thing, and I think this is awesome because I love being able to see what tracks that I've played, or if I come back from a gig, or maybe I had a practice session or a jam session with DJs, I can come back and always see the history. That's what I loved about other software like Serato. I could look at my history of the sets, and you know, obviously you always want to do some analysis and always make your sets better each time. The next, finally, they got rid of the crates thing, so now we just have playlists. My guess is that the reason they require you to update your drive, which, let me pull it out here, is just this small 128 gig thumb drive. They probably want you to update this on the engine software on the computer, or you can migrate it here, because a lot of us did save, you know, crates and playlists separately onto our drives, right? So I use this thing for mainly, you know, practicing sets, putting things together for my Twitch mixes, stuff like that. So this makes sense that that's why they would require that to be ejected and updated on its own. But, you know, visually, I really like this update, how things look. Let me just swipe down, see what we've got here. Boom, you can jump right in to the Wi-Fi. You got the record, whereas before it was kind of like, you know, you had to press and hold the menu. Now you can just swipe down and see it. And I really like that. So let's go down and check some of these things out. So you've got user profile here. So you've got, you know, your track start position, where you want it to start, your speed range, all this stuff here, and your playback controls, which I'm a huge fan of. You can check out your cues and loops. This is good. Kept all the settings from before. Display, you can see what it is. I don't know why people choose file name. Maybe because if they're running through an album, or I don't know. Let's see. So lock playing deck, I always do that. We've all been there. But anyway, you're used to seeing these settings, so we'll go through. But I do like this. It's a lot better. And then you can click on settings. And I enjoy, okay, even though there's like minimum scrolling. Remember in the previous menu, you have to kind of scroll all the way through everything. You can update the time, which is good to go. You have, you know, your device, mixer, then your mic settings here. You know, services, here's your engine lighting that you can set up. Ableton Link, that's a huge update that they've got. So users can now sync tempo with external hardware using Ableton Link over both wired and wireless networks. You know, once Ableton Link has been enabled, you'll see an orange link icon, which will be shown on the top right of the toolbar, providing the number of linked devices, etc. Now, I'm not an Ableton guy. I produce all of my tracks in Logic, and I use Pro Tools with clients, but that is still a very cool feature because a lot of like EDM producers and DJs use Ableton, so this makes sense. Then you've got your beat source link, Beatport link, which I've got turned on because I've got an account with that. You can do SoundCloud titles, so this is awesome. And Dropbox is cool too. I put a lot of my test tracks in Dropbox, so really love it. So, and then here, boom, about an update to make sure everything is is all set and good to go. So really like how this looks, and how you can update everything. Now, some of you, if you're not like really 100% sure of what some of these settings are, you know, the continue is so like you can set up like a dinner playlist, right? What I've done at events when I've brought this thing, I had to set up on the side, and I just put like jazz music and piano music and just had the playlist run while I was coordinating with the photographers and other things for this event. So that's like I have to find out where the split queue is. It used to be on the menu before, so I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't see it here. Let me see if it's under, you know, playback, cues and loops. I don't see split queue, display, safety, library, deck colors. Yeah, so I don't know. I got to try to find that. I'm a fan of using split queue. Maybe they just got away from it. I don't know. Checked everything here. Mixer, maybe. I bet you it's here. There it is. Split queue output. Okay, so on and off. So you'd have to go in here. I did like that I could just swipe down in the previous version and get right to it. Now you got to kind of click through the settings. So I guess, okay, so it's like a trade-off, right? So I guess I have to lose that functionality. I think like the split queue is important, and mainly because this only has the master, like master volume indicator. You don't have the individual channels, so sometimes tracks are louder than others, and if you don't have split queue on, like you're trying to adjust and make the levels match, but I think it's easier to do that with split queue because, I mean, DJs were used to using our left and right ear to balance things out. So, but I get it. This is like a practice traveling device to be used, maybe not a primary piece of gear. I mean, this thing is great, so I'm not gonna knock it, but that's why I like using split queue. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to update my thumb drive. We're gonna hop up in here and then go over the features with some of the music I've got just to see what's really fully changed, all right? So we will be back. All right, so I've updated my drive. Now I'm gonna plug this thing in here. Now it's checking it out, loads user profile. Yes. Okay, so it needed to do the migration and it was really super fast, but basically what it did, it just took all the crates and playlists and put them all together here, as you can see. And now I can see all my different ones, the tech house, the live streams, things like that. I know like some of the features, so if you did like play order and you did it say by key, normally it would always default back, but now if I go to this gig, see, now it'll stay on key, so I can always go through my playlist with the same type of sorting, which I usually like to go by, usually by key. Could do play order if I set it up. So like I had this Twitch live stream and I had basically kind of programmed my set so that could kind of work. Prime time, this is a huge dance playlist and I do like that. So what else can we, let's go. Okay, so now you can make it smaller. I like this feature a lot. And then you can, boom, you could select tracks. So you hit that and you can still update, create new playlists, stuff like that. So really the functionality of this, I really do like that they made it smaller. You can still, this gives you a chance to see a lot more, especially when you have a big playlist or something like this. This primetime playlist is just a lot of, you know, no fail party and dance music that would work. And I like it. It keeps the settings across all of them. So Denon doing big things with this update, this 2.0. I really like it. I'm going to definitely mess around with this software a lot more and get into the engine 2.0 that's on my Mac here, the application, and see how that supposedly it's supposed to have, better analysis. Because we all know like Denon, although doing a great job, the analysis as fast as it is, it really wasn't that good. I would say like 70% of the time I was always having to update my grid, the beat grid, because it was always off. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I don't mind doing it. You're prepping your sets and all that. So it's just part of the process of being a DJ. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this 2.0 is a huge thing? Is this type of software update something that can help people who maybe are thinking about updating, like I was, to a new Pioneer standalone system, but because of this massive update with the sound switch and be able to link things like Ableton? You know, how cool is that? Let me know in the comments if you guys think it's awesome. If you like these Denon products, definitely let me know. All right, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit that like button. I also invite you to subscribe and hit that notifications, as it helps support this channel. I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.